Hey guys, it's Dreyan here with a Guardian guide. This is a guide for support slash healer Guardian. I want to show you my traits, my skills, what I use, and then I want to show you some of dungeons and how to use this skill in a dungeon. I think this build is pretty nice for a support Guardian, since Guardians are, I think, meant to be support classes. This build also focuses mainly on healing and giving buffs to your party, actually boons. So I hope you like this guide and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. So I want to first show you my traits, my trait choices. I'm using Valor 10, Honor 30 and Virtues 30. Why? Because Honor is the best trait tree for healing and Virtues is the best trait tree for buffs. So in Honor I picked symbols are larger, symbols heal allies, and nearby allies gain Virtue Resolve's passive effect. So I think this one is really powerful, because Virtue Resolve heals yourself over time. It's like a passive regen, and this trait here makes this regen just for your whole party. So your whole party now has a passive HP regen. So it's pretty awesome. I have the other ones are symbols are larger and symbols heal allies. Since I'm using two symbols, this one I use the most, gives speed to my allies, and because of that trait now it also heals them. And the other one, symbols are larger. The other symbol I use with mace is this one. So these two are pretty nice AoE heals if the party is stacked together. Okay, next moving on to Virtues talents, traits. I use Consecration skills, use ground targeting. That means all my Consecration skills I can like target somewhere on the ground. They're not spawned around me, but I can target them, you see. If I didn't have that talent, those skills will all pop underneath me. So, because I'm using 3 Consecration skills, this one is perfect. The next one is Consecration skills recharge 20% faster and last longer. Again, because I'm using 3 Consecration skills mainly, this one is pretty awesome talent for this spec. And the last one is activating Virtue Resolve removes 3 conditions, and Virtue Resolve passive effect is stronger. Now, Virtue Resolve, we already talked about it before. This is the one that gives passive regen to my party, and if I use this trait, it even boosts the regen up, so it's even better AoE passive healing for my party. Plus, if I activate the Virtue Resolve, like this, it heals my whole party up by a little amount, but it is a good amount. It's nice. It has a 60-second cooldown though, but it's really nice. I think it has a 40-second cooldown actually. This tooltip here is wrong because it should be lowered because of my traits here. Yeah, I think it's lower. Let's see, this one says 30 seconds. Yeah, it's actually 22, so yeah. It's actually 40-second cooldown, so it's quite nice. Next, moving to my weapons, I'm using staff and mace and focus. I think these are the best for this spec. You could also go with mace shield, but then you should probably switch around a little bit of traits, a little bit more in valor and a little less in virtues. So staff, I mainly use staff. It's good for nuking. Like I don't do much damage. I just like support damage. It's AoE damage, so okay, it's ranged as well, so it's nice. So about the skills and the stuff, the first one is just damage, AoE, the second one is Orb of Light. I use mainly this one for healing, this is quite nice. The third one is this symbol I mentioned before. I'm using this on cooldown all the time. I'm trying to catch more party members with it as much as I can, because it heals them up and it gives them buffs, so it's nice. So use this one on cooldown. The next skill is Empower. I'm using this one on cooldown pretty much as well. It just buffs the whole party up. It increases their damage by a lot, and it heals them on the end, and it's a nice heal. So I usually pair it up with Virtue Resolve if my party takes a lot of damage. I channel Empower, and then at the end I use Virtue Resolve or in the middle of it. So it's like this. I use this skill. I'm like buffing my party, and now it heals up, and now I use my Virtue Resolve, so my party gets like pretty much topped up if they're damaged. So the next skill is Line of Warding. This one creates like a wall on the ground the enemies can't cross. This is I really enjoy putting this down, because mobs, when mobs wanna cross this, they just go like, they go to the wall and then bump in and then gets thrown down. So it's also a nice CC. You can throw them under mobs as well and it will throw them down. This is nice when fighting in small spaces, or when you are about to pull a group of mobs. You put this down on the ground, and when the mobs start charging at you, they will just bounce and drop down, and they won't all come together to attack your party. Okay, so let's see. Let's check my other skills. For the healing skill, I'm using Healing Breeze. This one is nice for party healing as well. It heals me up as well as my parties in front of me in a cone. So if I use it like this, you see, I'm like breathing out this icy thing, and it heals everyone in a cone in front of me for a quite nice amount, actually. So I'm usually like stacked behind my party members, behind my melees, and I'm just healing them up with these when I need to. Next one is Purging Flames. This one is another consecration. This one removes debuffs from my friends. So there's a lot of fights when you need to remove the debuffs because they do a lot of damage. So I just pop this one underneath them and they get removed one debuff. Also for removing debuff you have a mace skill, but I'll get to that later. Next skill here I have is Wall of Reflection. Oh, this is so awesome skill. This is pretty much this is close to the other wall I had, but this one prevents the projectiles from going through. So this one is really nice for protecting our party. So you put it down like this, and everyone who tries to shoot at you through this barrier will get their missiles reflected back to them, and it reflects the whole damage. So you can actually do damage with this quite a lot, but it's really nice for protecting party members or ranged, because sometimes ranged get targeted and they just drop so fast, like rangers or elementalists, they just die so fast. So I pop this in front of them so they can just stand behind and cast and they don't take any damage. So it's really nice. It's also nice for pulling mobs. When you pull a group of mobs, you put this down, all the archers suddenly become useless and all the ranged adds become useless. It's really nice, and you can also pair it with this one, so it just wall over kill here. No one can get to you and nothing can get to you. So getting to my last skill, it's Sanctuary, another consecration. So I'm using 3 consecrations. This one puts a bubble on someone on the ground. I mean, you target someone and you put a bubble on him. This bubble is so awesome. This bubble reflects or prevents the missiles trying to get to you, and mobs cannot enter this bubble, so it's pretty awesome. So let's say you have a tank or melees getting overwhelmed by ads, and you just pop this bubble on them and tell them to stay together, not to move, and they can just keep fighting and the mobs won't do shit to them. So it's kind of awesome. I really like this skill. It's bad that it has so long cooldown, like what is it, 96 seconds, but you gotta use it carefully. So when you use it, it's so nice. And then you can use the bubble, and then you use the wall, and there's just so many protective stuff you can use. For the last skill I use Tome of Courage. It's pretty much the support final skill. The first one just heals your enemies in a place, pretty nice. And the 5th one is so nice as well. It heals all of your party members to full HP. This is so useful. And this is just a buff. I mean, this heals them as well. It puts protection and regen on them. It's so nice for a final skill. Really love it. Okay, other weapon I use is mace and focus. This is a nice support combo. The first skill just punches them in a cone in front of you, and last one of them is called Faithful Strike. It heals nearby allies. So when you're done using it with your stuff, when you have this and this on your cooldown, and you don't need to put any other stuff down, you just swap back to mace. you start punching around if your party seems okay, and you'll just passively heal them up. The next skill is Symbol of Faith. Another symbol, really like symbols. You go to melee, you pop this down, allies get healed, enemies get damage, allies also gain regen. The next skill is Protector Strike. Put this shield around you, and when it ends, your allies and you get protection up. Pretty cool as well. Next one is Ray of Judgment. Okay, this one can be used offensively or defensively. Depends who you target or who you return to. If you target it to your allies, it heals one condition from them and heals them up with regen. If you target them to a mob, it will just blind him. So it's a nice utility skill. And the last one is I use when the mobs get crazy on me on my ass and I need to survive. I just switch fast to the mace, pop number 5. It will block next 3 attacks that come towards me, so completely ignoring their damage. So it's a nice survival skill. So you can take that time when you're blocking the skills to run back or get a healing spell up. Okay, so the virtues are these 3. Well, all the guardians have. You wanna use F1 Virtue of Justice on cooldown all the time. It busts. It boosts the party damage loads because every mob gets burned. You want to use Virtue of Courage when you see there's a burst coming up, so everyone gets block. And you want to save Virtue of Resolve because it has passive regen, and if you use it, the passive regen will stop for a certain amount of time. So I use this one when when I really need to heal, when all my spells are on cooldown and there's a lot of damage coming. I pop this one, heal my party up, and it works quite nice. Okay, so about my gear, you wanna stack as much as healing on your gear as possible. My gear is not perfect yet because I haven't farmed it yet, but I have full exotics on armors. But my weapons and jewelry is not exotic yet. So for your gear, you wanna go for Cleric set. It's probably the best one for Guardian. It gives you power, toughness, and healing power. It gives a lot of healing power as well. For runes, I think Rune of Dreyan is the best for this spec. You can try other runes as well, but I like this one. I like the regeneration. It gives passive regeneration to you, and increases your healing and regeneration. It's quite nice. For my weapon and mace and that stuff, I just use normal stuff with healing power. I haven't bought the exotic stuff yet, but I don't think it makes that difference. It has like 30 more healing power, so it's not that big of a deal. I think the skill of the player matters a little more. For jewelry as well, you can just buy this one off auction house. It's so cheap. A few silvers and you have the whole set of this jewelry with healing. So yeah, you just go for healing and a little bit of toughness, so you're not like a squishy mage or something. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over a few dungeons and a few moments in the dungeon. So just to show you how this how the usage of some of those skills work. So now here we're in a dungeon, we're about to pull, so I pop this wall, so you see the projectiles, they get reflected back to the mobs. They can't shoot us while we're still dealing with some mobs behind, I think. So now we charge in, I pop this bubble, all the projectiles are still bouncing back, and now we can just take it easy and start killing stuff. A lot of damage has been negated here. Okay, next moment here, we're about to pull again. I'm gonna pop the wall on the ground, so mobs can't all come charging down at us. You see how they bounce back, and then I pop the wall to stop the projectiles. So now we have one single mob here, can kill it out easy. Now one comes again, one by one they start coming. I pop the shield, the bubble again, stops the projectiles, people get inside, we can kill a few more, and so on, so on. So it's like crowd control stuff, really helpful, I really like it. It helps negate a lot of damage. So now we're just fighting. I'm just nuking a little bit here. I'll just pop a symbol down, removes the debuffs, heals up. I use a mace here, just passive healing. This one is pretty easy. But this pack keeps people topped up most of the time. It's nice because if you don't have like a supporter in a group, it can be quite hard. So here it's again to stop the projectile just for fun. This guy is actually a boss, I think. So we were here for the first time, so we didn't know what are the mobs doing, so we just experimented a bit. Next, okay, here we see some webs getting shoot at us, so I'm gonna pop this wall to prevent projectiles. You can see how they bounce back. So nice. So I don't know what the guys are doing down there. They're probably fighting something as well. So I didn't see it. I popped the bubble here, so I'm going up solo. Pretty noobish, but yeah. I think my friend's gonna join me now. So I popped the bubble again. All the projectiles getting bounced back. Start killing the turrets. Turrets are gonna die. I didn't take any damage. So meanwhile healing up, just nuking these guys. Pretty nice. Oh, my friends have died. What's going on here? I popped the wall again. These guys can't shoot at us. We res up. We continue. So I think it's normal in dungeons and guild wars that people keep dying and you gotta keep resing because it heals and there's no tanking and there is no like proper healing. So I think it's normal that people die. Yeah. So this is a nice place. You can throw down so many walls, you can throw down so many AoE heals, buffs, and so on. It's quite nice here. Okay, so here we are again about to pull. I pop the wall and the projectile thingy. They can't do shit. They just projectiles just bounce back. This guy got thrown down by my wall. One by one they come, we start killing them. I rush in, I pop the bubble. I tell people on Skype to get in the bubble so they won't get hurt. Most of us get in. I pop some heals down, here I'm healing up. Okay, everyone's topped up, nice. So it's going okay. Next I'm gonna show you the usage of my last skill. I think it's Tome of Courage. How you can top up people so overpowered. It's quite a long cast time, but yeah, there you go. People topped up. Sweet. Okay, so this about concludes this guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, well, you can give a try to this spec, and if you're a guardian, I think you will like it because DPSing is so boring. Support and healing is fun. You gotta press a little more buttons than just spam the DPS ones. Okay guys, enjoy and have fun. See you next time.